how do I explain Deuteronomy 18:18 to a Muslim that says that this is about Muhammad?
Say, hold on. So Deuteronomy 18 is prophesying Muhammad, right?
Yes.
Since you quoted the book, that means the prophet, like Moses, won't contradict the theology of the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to get them agree. So Deuteronomy 18:18 is about Muhammad, right? They'll say, yeah. So since you just quoted the book, that means if Muhammad is the prophet like Moses, he's not going to contradict the teaching theology of Deuteronomy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now do me a favor, open up your Bible. Just go to Deuteronomy 14, verse 1.
Deuteronomy 14.
Deuteronomy 14, verse 1.
Got it.
Read it for me.
I have the King James, so...
The king ain't on it. The king ain't in it, sucker.
You are the children of the Lord your God. You shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead.
Okay, according to Deuteronomy, the true God is a spiritual father. He's not a physical being. He doesn't have sex. He's a spiritual father to Israel. Israel, the Israelites are the sons and daughters of God, right?
Mm-hmm.
No Muslim believes Allah's a father to Muhammad or anyone. Okay? If you're going to debate Muslims, you got to learn their theology. You got to learn their theology. You can't just go in there being ignorant of what they believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No Muslim thinks Allah is the father of Muhammad or anyone, because Allah is a father to no one. You with me there?
Yes.
Okay, so you got to know their theology or you're not going to be able to refute them. So Allah is not a father to anyone. He's not the father of Muhammad. He's not the father of Muslims. He's not the father of Jews. He's not the father of Christians. That's in chapter 5, verse 18. But the God of Moses in Deuteronomy is a spiritual father to the Israelites. So how can Muhammad be the prophet like Moses when he contradicts Moses' view of God? Now, so you got the point, right? Moses' God in Deuteronomy 14 is a father to Israel. Muhammad's God, Allah, is a father to no one. So how can Muhammad be the prophet like Moses?
Good point.
Now, go to Deuteronomy 32, verse 6.
32, verse 6. Do you thus requite the Lord, O foolish people and unwise? Is not he thy father that has brought you? Has he not made thee and established thee?
Wait, so again, Moses' God is the father of Israel?
Wait, can you repeat that again? I didn't hear you.
Moses' God, is he the father of Israel?
Yes.
You're downing. You just read it, dude. Dude, I know you young guys, your attention span is like 0. Focus on what you're reading, man. Read it one more time, homie.
Do you thus requite the Lord, O foolish people and unwise? Is not he thy father that has brought thee? Has he not made thee and established thee?
Is he not thy father? So you're like, is that like a trick question? Multiple choice? What does it say?
It says, is he not thy father?
So meaning, so that means Moses' God is a father to Israel, right? I'm gonna bash my head again. You're gonna make me bash my head. If you can't understand the King James Version, why are you reading it, my young brother? Read a translation you can understand.
Okay, do you want me to get my ESV?
Well, it's kind of too late right now. The question, is he not your father who bought thee? You're taking it as a denial. No, it's like saying, hey, man, am I not the best looking apologist in the planet? Why are you laughing, bro? All right, so when it says, is he not thy father who bought thee? Is that saying he's not your father? Or is it saying he is your father who bought you?
He is your father.
Exactly. So if the King James is hard, go with a translation until you work your way up to the King James. I don't want you to get stuck on a language and get confused. I want you to understand. It's like, it's a question where the question itself has the answer. Like saying, hey, man, Is Sam Shamoun not the best apologist on the planet? See, when I tell you that, I'm expecting you to say, of course he is, because if you don't, I'm going to block you. Right?
Right.
Okay, so do we get that? Moses is God as a father to Israel, right?
Yes.
But Muhammad's Allah is a father to no one. So how can Muhammad be the prophet like Moses when he contradicts the teaching of Moses?
Okay, good point.
One more example, and then that's how you answer the question.
Okay.
Okay, go to Deuteronomy 24, verses 1 to 4. And that's how you refute it. Say, so, okay, when you go to Deuteronomy 24, verses 1 to 4, pay attention with me. Deuteronomy 24, verse 1 to 4. Pay attention to me and with me. Before you read it, Derek, as you're laughing at me and hurting my feelings. Okay, now, here's what you're going to read. Moses' God is going to tell Israel, you can't do this. If you do this, you're an abomination. What you're trying to show from these examples is, for Moses to prophesy Muhammad, and Muhammad is the prophet like Moses, then he has to agree with the teaching of Moses. But here are cases in which Moses says something that Muhammad contradicts. So he cannot be the prophet like Moses, right?
Yeah, right.
That's the point I want you to keep in mind. So now read for me Deuteronomy 24, verses 1 to 4.
When a man has taken a wife and married her, and it has come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he has found some uncleanliness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house.
Okay. Keep reading all the way to 4. Okay, don't stop.
And when she departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. And if the latter husband hates her, and then writes her a bill of divorcement, and gives it in her hand, and sends her out of his house, or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife, her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. After that, she is defiled, for that is an abomination before the Lord. And thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord thy God gives you for an inheritance.
Now explain what you just read, and make sure you read a translation where you understand, and then work your way up to the King James. God just said, if a man divorces a woman, pay attention. If a man divorces a woman, she marries someone else. That's someone else divorces her or dies. She cannot go back to her first husband. She can't. Because if she does, and the first husband takes her back, this is something disgusting to God. It defiles the land. You can't do that. Right?
Yeah, it's an abomination.
Yes. So what is God saying? If you remarry a wife you divorced, and she's been married to someone else, and that someone else died or divorced her, and you remarry her, you're disgusting to God. Now remember this verse in the Quran. Remember this verse in the Quran. Chapter 2 of the Quran, verse 230. Chapter 2, verse 230. Just write that down. Are you ready?
Yeah, got it.
You got that now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me tell you what that verse says. Chapter 2, verse 230 says, if a Muslim divorces a wife irrevocably, he cannot take her back. Listen to this. He cannot, man, this connection. Yeah, guys, is the connection okay? Is it buffering bad for you guys? Is it all right? Is it all right? Or is it getting bad? Hold on, let me. In chapter 2, verse 230, it says, the Muslim man divorces his wife. He cannot take her back until she marries someone, and that someone divorces her or dies. Then only then he can take her back. So if I divorce my wife, I'm a Muslim, another Muslim man must marry her, have sex with her, divorce her for me to take her back. That Muslim man makes her lawful for me. It's called muhallal. Did you understand the problem with that passage?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the problem?
Yes.
A Muslim man can only take back his ex-wife if she marries someone else, that someone else has sex with her and divorces her, then I can take her back. Do you see? Do you see the contradiction?
Yeah, because God says, "Do not take her back, for that's an abomination." But the Quran says to take her back.
You see? And how then can Muhammad be the prophet like Moses?
Good point. He's not.
Okay, so that's how you destroy it.